We are here again, yet again. Hey world, shalom everybody, and welcome back to my channel, ReligionWinked TV, where my spiritual ear stands. Ain't y'all tired of reading? I thought I was. I said, let me come on and do it now, get it over with. All I know is Joseph is in prison. He's been accused of some sexual advances made toward Potiphar's wife. She lied, like most stories and events in history, such as Emmett Till. He got thrown in prison. Then Pharaoh has a dream. Joseph interprets the dream. Y'all, I'm so freaking tired. Hi, welcome. He interprets the dream, and he gets moved from the prison to what we call the palace. But if you watched the morning read this morning, you know there was a lot that went down before he even ended up in Egypt in prison. There was a lot. Y'all, when I say I'm freaking tired, we got 118 verses to read. And you know I be putting my little 2 cents on every verse damn near. So if you feel like donating $1 a Bible verse, we only have about, I read there's 31,000 Bible plus verses in total. We got about, after this one, we got 39 left, 38 left. We probably got about 2,000 maybe verses to go. I'm not sure. But what I am sure of, you're watching ReligionWinked TV, and my spiritual ears stay. I be trying to time it, y'all. The song is 2 minutes and 39 seconds, and I be trying to talk my way through it. And every time I hear that doom, 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 I think it's about to go off. Sometimes you'll hear me say it before the song go up, and then sometimes you'll hear me say it right when the song is going off, and then you'll hear me rush like now to try to get it in. Nonetheless, we be getting it in over here. It's very messy, very educational, very people bloggish. I mean, I just don't sit over here and read the Bible. No. Hell no. If you see, my Bible is like in 3 sections right now. If you've seen the way my Bible look, you'd be like, well, damn, at least she getting some use out of it. It doesn't just sit on her coffee table getting dusty. No, that's not my Bible. As you can see, since March, this is a little embarrassing, but life happens. We set out on a journey March 2nd or 3rd of 2019 to basically read the Bible in a year. I have an itinerary that breaks it down for January 1st through December 31st. And this is 2022. But by March 2nd or 3rd, going the rate we're going, God willing, by the grace of God, we shall prevail against the gates of hell that will try to keep us from reading this Bible in a year, right? Took us about 3 years by the time we get done with it, right? I think we have to read Deuteronomy somewhere around chapter 4 to 5 or something like that, and then we're done. You could be on your merry little way, or you could stay tuned to see what the next chapter of the next series I'm going to do with this Bible, okay? I might go in and decipher all the lies of the Bible, do some kind of documentary. Nonetheless, we're going to continue to journey on in our faith. We're going to do what Paul suggests, fight a good fight. We've been fighting 3 years now to get this Bible up on this channel, so we'll have The whole Bible, not just sitting here. And the Lord said to Moses, and the Lord said to Joshua, no, 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 no. What? You said what? Oh, that sounds like this to me. Oh, no, I've been through that. That's how we give it up over here. So, March 2nd or 3rd, 2022, by the grace of God and God willing, because I know He's able, baby, but sometimes you and I aren't. We don't like to show up to the morning read. We get other things that we have to do. Like yesterday, I had to travel out of town. That's why I had to do 2 today. But since November 9th, we've been doing one every day consistently, right? Whether it's morning or night, I've been getting it done by the grace of God. Um, but Paul says, fight a good fight, finish your race, and keep the faith. And I believe I've been encouraging y'all to do it. And I know, like David, hell, I have to encourage myself sometimes. But here we are doing another read, 118 Bible verses. I wish the church would stop playing. I wish TD Jakes and everybody else would just stop getting up there talking 3-4 hours on Bible stories and give them the verses, the scriptures, the commentary, meaning and understanding behind it. Don't just entice my flesh and leave my spirit out here hanging. And that's generally what church does for most people. It arouses the flesh and then somehow never comforts the spirit. You know what I'm saying? So let's go ahead and get into this whole interpreted dream, interpretation of this dream that Pharaoh's about to have. Joseph is in prison. Potiphar's wife accused him of doing something foul, which was a lie. In prison, he becomes over the guards. You know how people go to prison and they put that game down from the street, and in prison they like boom, boom, boom. It could be the littlest man, like a little chihuahua built like a pit bull, right? Walking around, boom, boom, boom. Like he the man in prison. That's how Joseph was, but I'm not too sure if he was a little short, stocky. I think he more tall, built. I'm just saying, them 12 brothers, even Dan, which to me may seem like the ugliest one of the bunch, but even Dan seemed to have been good looking because a lot of people was attracted to them Pharisees and scribes and the Sanhedrins, who Dan became, if you've been following the story, right? But I know Joseph was, good looking. But Potiphar said he's over the prisoners. So when God says he'll, even in the midst of adversary or adversity, you still could get promoted. You still could be in charge. You still can influence people. You still can lead people. I'm sure when Potiphar put Joseph over the prisoners, he wasn't leading them to the slaughterhouse to be slain. Oh, hell no. He wasn't leading them to the cross to be crucified. No, 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 no. I think with the wisdom he has in him, with being able to interpret dreams, he probably was in there making a little bit of money, first of all. I just feel like he was getting his hustle on, like, what you dream? This is going to be my meal ticket out the hood, out the prison, out the ghetto, out this damn Bible eventually. You stick with me. We going someplace, y'all. It may not look like it on YouTube, but believe you me, God is taking us somewhere. And YouTube can't go with us, okay? Don't you hear when God ready to elevate you and take you some places, there's just some things and places and entities and people that can't go with you. And for me, YouTube may be one of those things. All right. It may be working against me and not for me. You just have to discern these things. But remember, God says He'll even use your enemy to bless you. So thank you, YouTube. Thank you for letting me do this morning read. I mean, because you can write it in your bylaws like Tasha K. You got to sleep with the enemy. I mean, unlike Tasha K, she said you can't sleep with the enemy to work for her. It seemed like you want us to sleep with the devil in order to work for you, YouTube. I'm just saying, shit, baby. I don't know if I could get with that, YouTube. Mm-mm. You know how long I've been running from the devil's tail, child? Been picking and sticking me all my damn life. Nah, Shout out to VS. I was looking back in some of my videos because I was looking for a video that I had on Dennis Byron. You know, the one journalizing, journaling Tasha K's court appearance. I had a bit, and I was looking at VS. I ran into one of your videos or whatever, but I remember when I was in your comments, and I told you, girl, I've been fighting the devil all my damn life. I didn't get on YouTube to fight the devil, and nonetheless, did I know, or neither did I know that I would be fighting YouTube. The biggest devil on YouTube is YouTube itself. Girl, and it's been a fight, honey, because you yourself know when we did that interview, child, I gained 300 like Gideon. Other people were scared to come on board, child. But you know that one day we did that interview, I gained 300 subs that day. I know I'm that type of person to do it, but you gotta be wicked and cruel and morph into this demonic being on YouTube in order to get promoted and people to like you and accept you. And I'm like, man, my blood, when I say my blood ain't built for that, and I got tired of fighting the devil by 2017 when I really started doing YouTube videos on this channel. I didn't get on here to fight the devil. At least not other black people like me, or at least people that I think is like me. But it's been a fight. It's some strange things been going on with me and this YouTube channel and things surrounding it. So I ended up fighting the devil anyway, but not the way you guys are out there fighting. That kind of fight, I was done with the streets. I was done with the hood. I was done with the ghetto mentality. I was done hanging with crabs in the barrel and barrels in the crab and the sand of the sea and Charlie and tuna and all that shit. I was done. And when I said my blood ain't really built for it, God, y'all don't, you know what oxidation is? I'm just going to keep it real with y'all. I told you I have G6PD. It's a deficiency, it's an enzyme. Most people probably suffer with it and don't even know, especially if it's indicative and come from the northern part of Africa. It's just something white people and European people, they're going to tell you, they're going to throw one or two people in there and say they got it too. But the majority is males, and females get it every now and then. But it destroys your red blood cells when you get too much stress on the brain, or it's called oxidation, your body medication, blueberries, red wine, mothballs, shit I've been using all my life. I found out in 2016 this is a genetic condition. So if prior to me not knowing I had this but wasn't aware of it, if I was maintaining my stress level and doing the best I could to avoid like the high blood pressures and all this other stuff, it it breaks down your red blood cells. It basically destroys your red blood cells, and they don't reproduce the way. That's why I be tired a lot, y'all. Realistically, look it up yourself. Lethargic. I didn't know what was going on most of my adult life, but then something happened July 2016. I was at work. I felt weird. I called in. It was a fire alarm went off inside the building where I was working. I said, oh, this is a good time for me to call my supervisor and say, look, I'm not feeling good. I'm standing out here waiting to go in the building. I'm about to go to the hospital. And ever since then, I got sent to a rheumatologist and found out that I have this G6 PD. Fiveism, something to do with some damn fava beans. I never heard of fava beans, but everything else that it says I shouldn't partake of, I've been doing most of my adult life. So when I come on here to YouTube and millions of people, I don't expect to be warring with nobody, knowing that I'll be sitting here like this. Cause while y'all fighting and beefing and arguing and the stress and all that, my blood cells is doing something other than what yours is doing. Yours may be reproducing rapidly to give you that energy to keep on going. Mine's is not reproducing fast enough. So I gotta, y'all say protect y'all energy. I gotta protect my red blood cells. And I'm serious. I've been diagnosed. I have it. I might as well say this too. Ancestry.com ain't gonna tell you your real bloodline. Ain't gonna tell you. But that damn rheumatologist, go get a complete blood count, y'all. I'm trying to tell you. I went and got mine, and my blood don't lie. I can't be out here beefing and warring like y'all do. I could if I want to be tired, lethargic, sleeping all day, and useless, like most people who just hang out on social media are. Depressed, angry, bitter. So there's some different things going on here. And another thing is that blood work that came back for me and diagnosed me with that genetic condition that I have didn't start here in the West. They're gonna say one white lady got it when you do the research. African males, the northern part, they're gonna say the Mizrahim, the Kurdistan, and the Sephardic Jews. But when Israel left Jerusalem, the children thereof, they scattered to Spain, Portugal, the northern part of Africa, and some even went east into Turkey and all of that. So you could call us Ashkenazi Jew, Kurdistan Jew, Mizrahim Jew, Sephardic Jew. I'll take it. Because I know in my heart I am a descendant of one of them damn Jews over there by my blood work. Don't deal with Ancestry.com. Go to a rheumatologist, y'all. A complete blood count. And I bet you a lot more of y'all out there got what I got and you don't even know it because for some reason they don't think to test us for that as a baby. But I bet you they do that PKU on your baby. They stick that foot. I worked in labor and delivery. They stick that needle in that baby, draw that blood out. But one thing that's not being tested is for this genetic disorder. So don't think a bitch be over here high, drunk, slurring my words. I literally be tired. That's why I don't argue a lot. I had to make these decisions even before I found out I had it. I was cool selling in Earth. I'm not a argumentative person. I hold my own, but I don't start trouble. I defend my own or defend the trouble you try to bring to me. But I'm smooth sailing. And then when I found out I had it, it was like, oh, we even gonna even get more melancholy. We gonna just fall back for real. And that's my adult life. I don't know about you, but I suggest you go get tested. Especially if you drink red wine or if you eat blueberries. Mothballs. I used to put mothballs inside and outside my house for years. I haven't bought a pack of mothballs I don't know why, because it probably wasn't affecting me then, and it probably ain't gonna affect me now. But when you're told not to be around something, you kind of try to follow along or whatever. Like, I ain't supposed to have milk, eggs. I'm just like in a bubble over here. And I be wondering why my allergies, and I be sound like I was even diagnosed with inflammation. They don't know if it's lupus. They just don't know. Your girl is like a mystery over here, but thanks be to God, I'll take the reports because I am healed by his stripes. I don't give a damn what you try to diagnose me with. I am healed by his stripes. But I just thought I'd let y'all know that about my blood. So y'all be trying to come over here, start trouble, and try to, man, listen. I purposed it in my heart. When I got on social media, it wasn't to beef with nobody. That's not my gifts or my talent. But then again, I say I could do what other people do, but can people do what I do? I could make an ass out myself. But can the people who are asses get over here and read this damn Bible and educate you spiritually? So I'm very gifted, y'all. Because the ass in Numbers opened up her mouth and tried to save the old crooked prophet of God, Balaam, trying to make a deal with Balak, trying to sell the people out of God for a house, a car, a little Benz, a little whip, a little turnkey on demand, selling people out. That ass said 3 times, 3 different ways. He tried to prevent Balaam from going forward. Balaam like, what the hell? Bam, bam, bam. Beat the mess out that damn ass. And she opened up her mouth and said, you don't see that angel of the Lord standing there with a sword ready to kill you and me? If I keep going, I don't want to go hurt the people of God. I don't want to have God's wrath kindled against me like it says it's kindled against you right now. What is you doing? They can't do that. They too caught up in the beef and the drama. And a lot of them are sickly. They ain't gonna come on here and admit it. They'll never come on here and say, you know what? Damn, ever since I've been on YouTube, I've been ill. I've been, the beef, the drama, the this, the that. My health ain't the way it used to be. How many people can honestly get on here and say YouTube benefited their health? Y'all want to see me work out? Y'all want to see me? I've been telling y'all this tired. Y'all want to see me lose my belly? Go join my Patreon. I'll get up every morning. I got kettlebells. I got armbands. I got hell. I got Billy Blanks. I could put on mute, and I could come on now. What is called Tybo? It'd be Dru bow. I'd be bowing these elbows up in here. Throw them bows, okay? You can't get every damn thing for free. Paul says, make the gospel of Jesus without charge. Does that mean charge people for it? I don't know. I'm just asking you to be gracious in your heart and donate $1 a Bible verse. Let's get into this dream, y'all. So, who's really talented? Those that just can make an ass of themselves, or those that are an ass, according to this Bible, out here trying to save people along the way? I'll be an ass. Long as I open up my mouth to save God's people. I'm just not going to open up my mouth to destroy God's people or my red blood cells. So while y'all protecting whatever energy it is you say you're protecting, I'm really protecting energy for real. So sometimes when I say, "Oh, I'm gonna come back live," man, the minute I get done with the morning read, it's like a sleep, like I don't want to say spell because it wouldn't be of God if it's a spell. Not really a spell, but the drowsiness overtakes me. It's more like a state of dreaming because I don't really sleep, but I be very tired. So hopefully that doesn't happen on this Friday night because I really want to come back and showcase all of me. I've been doing it a little bit here, a little bit there. Every video, I got upwards of 1,500 videos. Each one of them has to do with God, but has to do with me as well. So if I'm not too tired after this read, um, we'll have a little fun tonight. If I am tired because I'm doing this read tonight, I only have one to do tomorrow, and then I have the rest of the day. Well, I have to take my daughter grocery shopping first thing in the morning, like 9:30, and I'll try to get the morning read done prior to that. But after that, I'll have the rest of the day to myself. So depending on how I really feel and if you care, like I don't give a damn anyway, because I run this ship over here. I run this boat over here. I ride this horse over here. Okay? Jesus can take the wheel though. I don't feel like driving that much lately. Maybe it's the car I'm driving, but Jesus can take the wheel, okay? I'll leave the driving to you guys. I'll stay in my lane, no, because driving is not my forte right now. Not the way I like to drive, so I'm just chilling on that as well. But I do everything else over here, okay? All right, so now that y'all know a little bit about me, where are you from? What state do you represent? That's not being intrusive, hell. Where are you from? Not only do you know where I'm from, you know I have a genetic disorder. That's very personable. And I don't even know some of y'all names. But it's okay. My favorite thing to say is as long as you know God, I don't need to know you. I want to know that spirit in you, okay? That's what I want to know. Your name might be Legion. Baby, once I discern that, it's a different kind of friendship. I might have to find some pigs, okay? And I ain't talking about the bacon I might eat every now and then. Hell, I'm talking about like Christ did with Legion. Some of y'all don't know how wicked and evil you really are because you never study what wicked and evil really is. Christianity teach you to chase mammon, which is wicked and evil. The love of money is the root of all evil, right? But they don't teach you what evil actually is. Paul does. He does a very good job talking about the persecutions, the terrors of the Lord, the evils and things of that nature. But you guys don't even want to believe it in the New Testament, in your religion, Christianity. All you caping for is the money, the bag, getting rich, getting famous, being on TV. And then when evil slide his tail up next to you and start to whispering in your ear like Eve, John Gray will tell you after he cheat on Avatar, oh, well, let me go to the word of God. But see, the word of God ain't in him to keep him from doing what he want to do. But yet y'all let him lead a church. and he go out and buy her a damn Lamborghini? Where that at in the word? Oh, ye of little faith is what the Messiah was trying to tell people like John Grays, like the John Grays of this world. You can't stand up here and preach the word of God and it not be the one thing you go to when you feel like you want to lust your way into somebody else's bed, cheating on your wife, who you put before the world and on a pedestal, only to kill, steal, and destroy her along your way. Type of nonsense is that? Oh, but I'm going to go to the word of God. The word of God will forgive me. The word of God will save me. It ain't save you from committing those cardinal sins. Remember, y'all in church preaching this. I'm not on my channel preaching it. I've had it preached to me and I preached it. I no longer do that because we all got sin. But what we all don't got is the word of God. You be like, oh, I'm in church, but it's church in you. I'm in the word, but it's the word in you. I'm in church, but it's church in you. I'm in the word, but it's the word in you. I'm in church. That's us. I'm in the word. But apparently the word is not in these people hollering, I'm in the word. Prior to me coming on here, I did mostly everything I was going to do against God and mankind. I don't have it in me to do it anymore. But hell, I told you everything I pretty much did. And I don't think what I did is all that bad. I never killed the Messiah or the Son of God. I never lied to the world to gain. I never gained the world to lose my soul. I never lost my soul to try to gain the world. So whatever Paul is talking about right there, you ask them to let you know what it really means. All right? People have already lost their soul. You have to be a lawless and a soulless person to kill, steal, and destroy to try to gain the world. Don't let them fool you, people. Now let's see what the hell Pharaoh dreaming about. Because, honey, I done went off. I done went off into dreamland, honey. Dreamworks, right? Let's see. Dream girls, honey. I'm over here just a dreaming. But listen, it's all good. Your sons and daughters shall dreams and have visions. And Joseph ain't the only one. Now, if you want to be like his brothers out here trying to slew him because he's gifted, then you'll never work your gifts and talents. You'll never know how much you can dream or how much visions you can come up with. Don't covet what somebody else got, y'all. Try to manifest what you have in you. All right, so verse 40. This is all after Potiphar, him thrown in prison. He is in prison in verse 40. He running stuff though. He running the prison, okay? He's the man in prison, okay? So 40 says, and it came to pass after these things, meaning everything I just told you, Potiphar's wife being accusing him of doing something sexually wrong to her. She lied. Potiphar believed her. He ended up in prison. Prior to that, Joseph used to tell on his brothers all their evil deeds, all their sinful nature things. He was a tattletale. He was 17 years old. He was a little boy. In chapter 35 or 34, you can read this, I believe. He told, and then his father loved him so much because Jacob was of old age, probably having no more children, and was fond of Joseph. Probably because Joseph was running around telling people dreams and just being a kid, you know. He gave him a coat of many colors. His brothers got jealous, threw him in the pit, realized they wanted to sell him, not kill him. At first they wanted to kill him. Then Reuben and Judah came up with the idea like, we don't want his blood on our hands. We want him to return to his father, kind of thing. So they didn't kill him. They threw him in the pit. But then they thought about it. Oh, we see these Ishmaelites. We see these Midianites. Let's sell them to these people. They're going down to Egypt, basically. And before they can get back to him, somebody else found Joseph, sold them to the Ishmaelites or the Midianites. It was the Ishmaelites or the Midians found them and sold them to the other. They take him down to Egypt. And he runs into Potiphar. First he's doing good. Everything is good. He's building his street cred, his Egypt cred up, Not too sure people know that he's a Hebrew Israelite at this point in time. But by the time Potiphar's wife lies on him and said that he touched her inappropriately, she calls him a Hebrew, saying, oh, he's trying to mock us. Basically, if you guys go back to, it's right here. 39, chapter 39, verse 14, that she called unto the men of her house and spake unto them, saying, see, he hath brought in a Hebrew unto us to mock us, because Hebrew or Egypt wasn't vibing at that time. Anytime? Now? When will you ever? Ever? Will you ever vibe? So she's like, oh, who brought this man down to us? He's a Hebrew. He's mocking us, and he tried to take advantage of me. I knew because her husband Potiphar was out of town when this all went down. But if they're in Egypt and he's a Hebrew man, that shows you a distinction right there that the two people weren't out of the same tribes per se. Same Noah, but different brothers. Not the same brother. So, all these things that the butler of the king of Egypt and his baker had offended their lord, the king. There's a butler, there's a baker. I remember hearing a message. Somebody was like, you need a butler, a baker, and it was one more thing. I can't really remember what the third thing is, but it's a message. It was either Juanita Bynum or T.D. Jakes, but they got that message from here. You know how we say butler, baker, candlestick maker? Well, it was something else in that sermon. So the king of Egypt and his baker, the butler of the king of Egypt and his baker, had offended their lord, the king of Egypt. Who do you think that is? Pharaoh, of course, is the king of Egypt at this time. Now, I don't know Pharaoh 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know if it's the Pharaoh that fights with Moses in Egypt when Moses, show up on the scene. I don't know and don't really understand why it's so that the queen can go down and another one rise. The Pope can go down, another one rise. The American president can go down, another one rise. At this particular time, Pharaoh go down, another one rise. Where is the Messiah? Oh, J. Edgar Hoover. Quid coin pro tell. No Messiah ever gonna rise again. Anybody trying to electrify and unify the people, we want them out. And you can look out in the world by Marley, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King for the most part. Harriet Tubman, she kind of electrified and unified people underground. Marcus Garvey. There's so many. Hell Selassie, hell, you and I. There's so many people. All the Hebrew male children under 2 years old, under 50 years old, under 100 years old nowadays, that the life is being taken. There's so many people who could be the Messiah right now. But according to the American government, it's not allowed. And when the Messiah was allegedly crucified, I'm going to just leave it there, or murdered on the cross, James, his alleged brother, took up the torch, per se, the word of God, the teaching. He was murdered too. Only Paul gets to live on to be the greatest apostle, right? Anyway, how come everybody else can repeat and keep their throne going, but we couldn't keep the throne of the Messiah going? And read the Guardian. I forget, it's April something. I forget when the article came out, but there's an article by the Guardian. J. Edgar Hoover said, no, Malcolm X was a good candidate. Carmichael Stokely was a good candidate. Honorable Elijah Muhammad was a good candidate. Martin Luther King would have been a good candidate, but he was too white liberal at the time. And he said we not having another Messiah, because the Messiah was for the black people. The 12 tribes of Israel, people in general, if they wanted him, but most of the world rejected the Messiah at that time and gave you the Pope, the President, the Queen, while all they little henchmen and do girls and do boys sit a little lower than them. But there's no Messiah. Why? Is it possible they came up against the entity of the Messiah because that was making a difference in the world, unlike they are making a difference today? You know how long the Queen been over there allowing people to do what Prince Andrew and everybody damn else over there been doing, and covering it up and just trying to and all. Man, listen, call it out, people, call it out. So it goes on. And Pharaoh, so that's the king of Egypt, in verse 2, was wroth against two of his officers, against the chief of the butlers, and against the chief of the bakers. Why he ain't mad at the damn candlestick makers? Oh, Lord have mercy. Anyway, the sermon basically was saying everybody need a butler, everybody need a baker, and then I want to say they said an accountant. If it was in the Christian church, it was a butler, a baker, and an accountant. If you have those three things, you're gonna make it in Christianity. Oh God, today you're gonna go far. You are going to go far. No, I can't remember. It's in me. I'll remember. It's a butler, a baker, and a broker. A broker. Oh, God have mercy. Ooh, a bank manager. I don't know, y'all. I can't remember the third one, but it is funny, huh? Anyway, 3 says, and he put them in a ward in the house of the captain of the guard into the prison, the place where Joseph was bound. And 75% of black people in America today, I don't know. I didn't go to school for accounting. Business administration. I'm not the accountant, okay? Hey, oh, they need a financial advisor. They need a butler, a baker, a financial advisor. They need, man, listen. Don't need no damn prisons, though. Just a closed plantation. We don't need that. No, we need to. Don't do what the Chinese do and torture people into submission. Don't do what the Christians did and no, don't torture people. Don't do none of that. Mm-mm. You said firing squad. Why would you want firing squad? Mm. Y'all rough. Y'all treat people, man. Listen, you gotta learn to value people. The wicked ones too. They have a chance to repent, but you don't let them know that, and don't give them the opportunity. Oh, they wicked. Oh, they this. I say you demonic. I say you wicked, but I still sit here and give you the truth. God said in Genesis 3:22, if your grandparents and ancestors would have put their hand to that dang on tree of life, you wouldn't be born into sin according to Paul and Christianity. Or would you? I told you Christians want to make you think that so they'll have the upper hand on you and you come out immediately growing up, or your parents will be instilling you better do right or you're going to hell. Well, who created hell and earth? Are they going to hell? Or only the good people who really ain't did nothing wrong, like the Messiah, and y'all want to crucify him and try to send them to hell? Hell is the grave. Probably hell is after death. I don't know. But he shook you when he got up with the keys of death and hell. And he resurrected in the spirit, not the flesh, right, Paul? Jesus rose in the spirit, right, Paul? I mean, in the flesh. Resurrection of the dead, resurrection of life happened before this dead in Christianity. Y'all ain't ready for it. Y'all better get y'all a butler. Y'all better get you a baker. You better go get you a what they call them? Loan sharks. Oh, Lord have mercy today. All right. So, 4 says, and the captain of the guard charged Joseph with them, and he served them, and they continued a season in the ward. In ward. And don't you know they used to put black people in asylums? If you was any other race non-black and you walking down the street and I look you in your eyes, you had every right to lock me up and put me in an insane asylum. As if I'm crazy for looking you in your eyes. But you were crazy according to them if you looked them in their eyes and they locked your butt up in the ward for that. And they won't admit to, Lord, they say, oh, that was just the time period. That was just the tools we used to get people in check. How long, people? How long? So, 5 says, And they dreamed a dream, both of them, each man his dream in one night, each man according to the interpretation of his dream, the butler and the baker of the king of Egypt, which were bound in the prison. So the butler and the baker had a dream. 6, and Joseph came into them. I don't like when it says that. Let me rephrase that, because I don't think Joseph went in unto them like Adam went in unto Eve, or like they said Judah went in unto Tamar. We read that earlier. I think he went into the room where they were. Okay. 6 says, and Joseph came in unto them in the morning and looked upon them, and behold, they were sad. Most people in prison are, especially those that are there that ain't do nothing wrong but smoke a joint or get caught up in the 1994 Joe Biden crime bill. I don't know, people. Don't you think prison is overpopulated? Now, those that need to be there, by all means. And why so many? Just take the people in prison that don't need to be there at this point. Let them go. Put everybody else in the remaining. How about we just do 7? Like there's 7 churches in the Bible that's being taught to. Reduce it to 7 prisons. And that's the amount of people that can get locked up. Everybody else needs therapeutic. They need to know how to renew their minds. They need other things introduced into their lives. I'm telling you, that will get them off of the path of thinking about the things or doing the things they used to do. They're lawless. They have no heart. Psalms 51:10. Create in me a new heart, dear Lord, and make my spirit right. I bet you if you make them write that 1,000 times sitting in prison or locked up somewhere after school detention program, that you know how when you used to get in trouble, I will not lie, I will not spit, I will not be late for class. Create in me, write it down. Create in me a new heart, Lord, and make my spirit right. Start making them write some Bible verses down and memorizing them and repeating them and reciting them and applying them. There's a lot of people made it out of prison to the palace. I don't know if we really interpret any dreams along the way, but it was a process, and a lot of people are able to get there, depending on what you believe. So, they're sad. It's translated dejected. You know how just they just had these visions, these dreams, and they're in prison. You gotta figure the baker and the butler now to Pharaoh. They done screwed up somewhere along the way. And you got the baker and the butler. And I think that's what that message was. You need to be like Joseph and have you a butler, a baker. What's another word for financial, for money? What's another word for money? We said financial advisor, broker. What else? That's what they said Joseph need. All right, so he went into them and they are dejected. Like most men, most people are in prison, whether they belong there or not. Prison ain't supposed to be no life of luxury, but the conditions that people are living in prison It's not supposed to be a life of cruel and inhumane treatment as it is. I mean, the food could be a little bit better, for the love of God. All the food that's thrown away in the world, from restaurants, pantries, believe it or not, hospitals, but because people are in prison, they're not thought of as people or human beings. Hell, even out of prison, some of us ain't referred to or thought of. In Christianity, y'all sheep and cattle. Not even a child. Not even the children of God no more. Just sheep and cattle. But anyway, I think the conditions of prison is just, it is, I don't know. And I've been to prison. Oh, you ain't know? God said I'll give you beauty for your ashes. Prison was one of my ashes, and I traded it for a little beauty. You haven't read Isaiah 61? See, what the baker and the butler don't know right here is that God will give them, oh my Lord, the oil of joy for their mourning, their feeling of being dejected. It's like an internal mourning, feeling sorry, like how we end up here, dude. We was just out there working for Pharaoh. Now look at us. We in prison. Mm, mm. Look at us, right? So, hmm, here we go. And he asked Pharaoh's officers in verse 7 that were with him in the ward of the Lord's house, saying, why you look so sadly today? Why you look so sadly today? Why you so sad today? I don't care how much junk a person talk, right? You can still see the sadness. Baby, one day Tasha K came on live. I forget the name of that video, but I just she looked dejected. I ain't talking about that video she did last night. I'm not talking about that one. She had a little energy last night. It was one video. I can't remember. I just looked at her. I said, wow. People can be married, have the family, the white picket fence, the house, the cars, the big following, everything, and still feel dejected. And Tasha K, let me just say this. I'm gonna do a video. You know, every now and then I'll call your name over here. I call your name. Are you gonna answer this time? Who that Tasha? Switch. I'm a little older than you, girl. That's Switch, okay? I'm gonna switch it up a little bit right here. Tasha, you just got 1 million subscribers. Shout out to you. But with this lawsuit, is it gonna cost you $1 per subscriber? They started at 75,000, but things seem to be adding up a little bit. Cardi saying she going for broke. So just, I'll give you some advice. Like I said, if I'm not tired after this, I'll come back later because I really want to talk to you in Chelsea City, Von, Von Cat Damn D, Von Damn Devil. I don't know what the hell you want to call him, but Storm Chaser over there, honey. Storm, hey, how are you? Okay. I'm coming back to talk to y'all. Y'all can come talk to me. I talk. I don't judge. I don't lash out. I don't degrade. I talk to y'all. I have an opinion. I'm a grandmother. I'm a mother twice. I'm a mother twice, okay? And I don't mean I'm full of wisdom. I don't be liking them people be like, I got 6 grandkids. You still acting like an asshole out here. You're still acting like the devil. I don't give a damn how many generations up underneath you. You still don't quite got it all together. You can have people out here that don't have no children and have more wisdom than those that live the life with bearing children. So knock it up, people. People are endowed with wisdom, point blank, period. All of us have some of God in us, the breath of life. It's about all the damn wisdom you need, but y'all out here searching for other things to replace that breath of life. And then when that breath of life is no longer activated in you or leading you, you find yourself in prison like the baker and the butler, dejected, feeling sorry and worthless and useless and like you failed somebody, especially yourself. So he says, why are you so sadly today? 8. And they said unto him, we have dreamed a dream, and there is no interpreter of it. And Joseph said unto them, do not interpretations belong to God? That's a question. I know we all like to interpret this Bible. We all like to interpret things we see in the world, messages we hear. Do they not belong to God? Just like I told you, prophecy belong to God. Predictions belong to Nostradamus. It's a big difference. So, he goes on to say, tell me them, I pray you. Tell me your dreams. All right, so in verse 9 it says, and the chief butler told his dream to Joseph and said to him, in my dream, behold, a vine was before me. A vine, something that hang off the wall, grow on the side of the wall, a vine. Like in a forest, they just, not so much a tree, but they hang between the trees and on fences and things. You ever pick blueberries, grapes? So a vine was before me. 10. And the vine was there were 3 branches, and in the vine were 3 branches. So you have the vine, and then you have the 3 branches. And it was as though it budded. So these 3 branches budded something through that's with the vine, right? Try to envision this to see if you can interpret it. And her blossom, shot forth. So it budded. I'm thinking them little white cotton things on the end of the stick. I actually had a tree branch. I painted and did it like a DIY. I put it outside a little couple of maybe a month or so ago. It's still outside, but I can imagine like 3 of these little white things budding. What are they called? Not the cotton things. Kind of like that, but not quite like that. They don't grow as big as that, but you know what blossoms are, right? Something is budding. I actually have a real plant in my windowsill over there, and it's blossoming. It has some 2 little unique things coming up out of it, and I've been growing these plants since 2012. And I've been repotting them, and they just keep growing and growing and growing by the grace of God, right? It's a blessing. So, anyway, and y'all think I can't influence? I've been influencing these plants over here since 2012, baby. Let me just say that, okay? Anyway, you gotta talk to them, love them, nurture them, water them. And when they get too big for one pot, you gotta find another pot and replant it. And so I started off with 3 little branches, maybe 2 or 3. And my friend Miss Sally, she broke them off her plant, and I put them in the mason jars in just water. And I let the stems come. And once I saw the stems come, I went out and got the pots and the soil. This was back in 2012. And I actually have 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I split those 2. Now I have 5 plants because I learned how to split the roots, and you know, so yeah. And I got it from Miss Sally. I took her little advice, but then I started researching and learning on my own how to just care for them, and they've been with me. And like I said, the pieces she gave me was probably like this. Now, when I tell you they are they are big, they are big, big, big. All right, so he's telling Joseph the dream. There's branches, there's a vine, there's branches, 3 branches, they blossom, and the clusters thereof brought forth ripe grapes. I just told you, vines, grape. You ever went grape picking? I have. You ever went blueberry, I believe, raspberries and things like that come on vines. I believe strawberries. I know when tomatoes grow, they grow with a vine, but they're talking about grapes here. I don't know. It just kind of remind me of what was in the Ark of the Covenant. Remember, he had some sticks in there, the tablet, some shoe bread, and I believe it was some branches in there with something budding on them as well. But there's grapes here. And 11 said, and Pharaoh's cup was in my hand, and I took the grapes and pressed them into Pharaoh's cup, and I gave the cup into Pharaoh's hands. A vine, 3 branches, blossoms, ripe grapes. He bust the grapes into Pharaoh's cup and gave it to him. 12. And Joseph said unto him, this is the interpretation of it. Now let's think about it. What would the interpretation be for you? A vine before you, 3 branches, they blossom, ripe grapes. There's a cup, grapes make wine, and Pharaoh can drink it. I don't know, just seem maybe negative a little bit for Pharaoh. Like, something bad is going to happen to him. I'm not sure. 11, and Pharaoh's cup was in my hand, and I took the grapes, pressed them into Pharaoh's cup, and I gave the cup into Pharaoh's hand. 12, and Joseph said unto him, this is the interpretation of it. The 3 branches are 3 days. 13, yet within 3 days shall Pharaoh lift up thine head, and restore thee unto thy place, and thou shalt deliver Pharaoh's cup into his hands, after the former manner when thou wast his butler. You're going to do it like you were his butler. All right? And then 14 says, but think on me when it shall be well with thee, and shew kindness, I pray thee, unto me, and make mention of me unto Pharaoh. You let Pharaoh know I discern this dream, and I deserve to get the heck up out of here. Mention me along your way. in 3 days, you're going to go back to Pharaoh's house, and in 3 days, you're going to let Pharaoh know about me, okay? He says, and bring me out of this house. Joseph know what he doing. So 15, I told you he was in there hustling like, I'm going to get out of prison one way or the other. I don't belong here, first of all, but I am going to get out. He a hustler. We all are. I mean, it is what it is. God will make a way. And if you got to interpret some dreams or shovel snow or pick up shit, do what you got to do in order to make it where God is trying to take you. 15, for indeed do it. Do what you got to do in order to get to where God is trying to take you. 15. So you know if you following God and trying to get to where God trying to take you, you ain't out here like the Grammys living like the devil and then get on stage and say, I want to thank God. No, you're living for God and walking with God in order to get to where God is trying to take you. You can't be out here fighting against God and living for the devil thinking God gonna lead you somewhere. Other than like what the Messiah told Peter, somebody gonna take you where you don't want to go. They're gonna lead you by the hand, Peter, and you're gonna end up somewhere you don't want to be, Peter. Crucified under the Vatican. They said the Messiah was crucified upright. They said Peter crucified inverted. Okay, mocking, just mocking people out here. So 15, for indeed I was stolen away out of the land of the Hebrews. And here also have I done nothing that they should put me into a dungeon. Not even a prison, a dungeon. But didn't he just call it a house a little while ago? He says, you mentioned me to Pharaoh and bring me out of this house right now. It's a dungeon. 16. When the chief baker saw that the interpretation was good, he said unto Joseph, I also was in my dream, and behold, I had 3 white baskets on my head. Told you. Some ain't. 17. And in the uppermost basket there was of all manner of baker's meat for Pharaoh, and the birds did eat them out of the basket upon my head. What does that mean? 3 baskets on the head, birds eating the basket meat out of the baskets. Listen, Joseph said in 18, this is the interpretation thereof. The 3 baskets are 3 days. 19, yet within 3 days shall Pharaoh lift up thine head from off of thee, and shall hang thee on a tree, and the birds shall eat thy flesh from off of thee. I told you. I told you it wasn't good. I didn't know what it mean, but I just felt like it wasn't good. It's not good, y'all. What we have? Vine, 3 branches, blossoming grapes. He said that's 3 days. Pharaoh gonna look upon you and bring you out. He didn't tell him in the beginning he was in the dream. Now he's saying, hold on, Joseph. I wasn't quite honest with you. I was in the dream too, and I had baskets on my head. Not only did I squeeze the grapes into the cup of Pharaoh's, but I had these baskets on my head. Same 3 days. This time he's telling them, you know what? Pharaoh gonna lift his hand up off of you, hang you on a tree, and let the birds eat your basket meat. He didn't quite say that in 19. He said, yet within 3 days shall Pharaoh lift up thy head from off thee, and shall hang thee on a tree. Boom! Why not a cross, Christians? Even Pharaoh ain't deal with no damn cross till Christianity come around and everybody started pushing it off on the children of Israel, or you die or you go into slavery. He Pharaoh used what? He in this dream a tree to hang somebody. Judas Iscariot, a tree after he betrayed the Messiah. Elijah, juniper tree, wanna die. It's just too much. I'm gonna go hang myself. David was dang near by a tree. The trees was in the garden. No crosses. No cross. I suggest you bear your tree. You pick up your tree and bear your tree. Don't be out here bearing nobody cross. Bear your tree. Some of y'all gonna bear the tree of good and evil and knowledge and all that. Some of y'all gonna bear the tree of life, the tree of righteousness, the tree of everlasting life. The choice is yours. Alright, so now he like you, and the birds shall eat thy flesh from off thee. That's deep. 20. And it came to pass the third day, which was Pharaoh's birthday, that he made a feast unto all his servants, and he lifted up the head of the chief butler and of the chief baker among his servants. 21. And he restored the chief butler unto his butlership again, and he gave the cup unto Pharaoh's hand. 22. But he hanged the chief baker as Joseph had interpreted to them. 23. Yet did not the chief butler remember Joseph, but forgot him? And that's how it's going to be for some of us, a lot of us. You're going to do good for people. You're going to expect them to get out of prison. That happens a lot. You about to get out of prison and people like, yo, don't forget me, at least write me, send me some commissary, and you be like, yo, I got you so happy to get out and you want to make a difference. If you got a good heart, you may look back on one or two of your friends that was in prison with you and look out for them, you know what I'm saying? But you might be in prison like Joseph, helping people, teaching people, interpreting dreams for people. And they say, yeah, when I get out, I'm gonna let Pharaoh know that you did XYZ. And don't even mention you, remember you, acknowledge you. So that ended the last verse of chapter 40, verse 23. Yet did not the chief butler remember Joseph, but forgot him? So if you guys want to go ahead and donate $23, that's $1 per Bible verse for chapter 40. All donations are not required. Donations, period, are not required. And all donations are not accepted when appreciated to receive them, because we know all money ain't good money for that matter. But again, we give you nothing but Bible tea over here. And I think a very clear, fair understanding of what's being said. I never desired really to interpret dreams. I'm a daydreamer. I'm a visionary person. Like, I see the vision, okay? But I never wanted to be out here telling people, ooh, I can interpret your dreams, and ooh, I can do this. And Just never was my calling or my theme. So let's just go right into chapter 41, verse 1. Let's read. And it came to pass at the end of the 2 full years that Pharaoh dreamed, and beheld, he stood by the river. Is Joseph out of jail, in jail these 2 years? 2. And behold, here come up out of the river 7 well-favored kine cows, and fat flesh. Ooh, and they fed in the meadows. 7 cows coming up out the river. Is he dreaming? Is he woke dreaming, or is he asleep? It just says he is by a river, 7 well-favored kine cows, and they feed in the meadow. They fed in the meadow. 3. And behold, 7 other kine came up after them out of the river, ill favored and lean flesh. You got fat fleshed. Now you got lean fleshed and ill favored. And stood by the other kind upon the brink of the river, the bank of the river. You got 7 fat flesh cows, well favored cows, grazing in the meadow, eating in the meadow, and then you have 7 more ill favored, lean flesh by the riverbank. 4 says, and the ill favored and lean flesh kind did eat up the 7 well favored and fat kind. That sounds like that old bacteria gut, that bacteria be in your gut, right? When you get an overflow of bad bacteria, it starts to eat off the good bacteria. The ill-favored lean. They lean so they can use a little food, right? Why are they eating up the fat, well-favored cows? The ill-favored ones. The ones that's not favored so good. The ones not so fat. They started eating up the fat kind. So Pharaoh awoke. I told he dreaming, y'all. So this is where he gonna send the Joseph now. We finally get there. He like, hey, I need to know what this dream means. 7 fat cows, well favored, well nourished, good, get eaten up by 7 ill favored, not so good cows, right? And Pharaoh woke. Verse 5. And he slept and dreamed the second time, and behold, 7 ears of corn came up upon one stalk, rank and good, plump and good. 7 ears of corn on one stalk. 6. And behold, 7 thin ears, and blasted with the east wind, sprung up after them. So 7 bad stalks. And verse 7 says, and the 7 thin ears devoured the 7 rank and full ears. And Pharaoh awoke, and behold, it was a dream. Calves and corn, cows and corn. Is it ringing anything to y'all? Put it in the comments if it is. Oh, you could be like Joseph and start to interpret people's dreams and get them out of prison or out of Pharaoh's hand. Anyway, I don't know. I'm just saying, y'all. Anyway, it goes on to say in verse 8, and it came to pass in the morning that his spirit was troubled, and he sent and called for all the magicians of Egypt. So he couldn't call for his God. And we're going to learn his God is Ra, the God of Egypt. Why he calling for magicians, sorcerers, interpreters? Yes, Pharaoh. All right. So, and all the wise men thereof, and Pharaoh told them his dream, but there was none that can interpret them unto Pharaoh. 7 good cows, 7 bad cows devoured. 7 good corns of ears of corn, 7 bad ears of corn devoured a good. What is the 7? I'm just trying to think if anything comes to that intuition or that spirit in you, or I really don't know. So it thinking of it like as a mathematician, 7 good, 7 bad, that's 14. 7 good, 7 bad, that's 14. We have a total of 28. That's as far as I get as far as solving this puzzle or this dream, or that's all I can offer you guys. I'm really trying to see what is gonna go on or what's happening where bad things is devouring good things. The COVID, the pandemic. Even Charlemagne the God said, I'm gonna do the video, y'all. Chaotic, demonic, confusion. Acronym CDC. Even Charlemagne the God said they're demonic and a little crazy and out here pee popping and pedaling backwards and all this other stuff. And just say you don't know. If you don't know, you don't know. Just say you don't know. It'll save the world a lot of headaches. Stop pretending like you know what the hell's going on and just say you don't know. But they like to keep up a lot of confusion right now. That's of the devil. So I renamed the CDC Chaotic Demonic Confusion. You want to talk to me about CDC? That's how you got to refer to them, okay? Because they're keeping up. You think it's Fauci and Bill Gates. Look, baby. She said she's going to take some classes. This is the director of the CDC. And a lot of people went to Bible college too. It ain't make no damn difference. So what the hell you gonna take classes for if you ain't studying to show yourself approved unto God? Oh, Jesus. And not being ashamed or a workman unto man, rightly dividing the word of truth. I don't give a damn what you study. It's not gonna benefit the people. Should we get her a baker and a butler? Can any one of y'all interpret her dream? Oh, I think I just did. Anyway, yeah, she out here talking about I don't know what's going on. People that's vaccinated can still get it and pass it up and all. I'm like, lady, why you? If we'd have been a little bit better off if you was saying you didn't know and walked us through the process. Y'all out here acting like you know. And the only thing you know is a virus runs its own course. Ain't no way in hell you could be out here predicting when the virus gonna return or leave or come back or go or fly or do whatever. Unless you got control of it. Nah. That's a video for a whole nother time. But I tell y'all, it's all biblically related. It's all spiritually related. It's all wickedness against God and his people at the end of the day. That's why the devil keeps so much confusion in the land so you won't focus on the things you're supposed to focus on. Now fear is setting in, and once fear is set in, people lose it. But you say in church, God didn't give me a spirit of fear, but power, love, and sound mind. And just like Israel over there took a leap of faith on their 4th vaccination, you people lost all hope in God. Oh, ye of little faith. All right, so Pharaoh fearful now. Hell, he like, get the magicians, get the sorcerers. Hell, go get the Egyptian, the Hebrew Israelites, God. Go get somebody. Everybody but his God, right? And that's what God of the Bible was trying to show you little G's out here. You might be a G in the earth, baby, but up in the heavens. And see, we got God in the earth. That's why y'all fight us so much. Y'all better respect the God of the gods. Because every time we had a situation, the Lord of the living army, the Lord of all Israel, in the name of the Lord, in the name of the Lord, in the name of the Lord, we call what sorcerer? Call what magician? Every name above, it's the name above every name, right? Who is y'all trying to fool out here? So you got people yelling his name Jesus, and the whole world is going to hell in a handbasket because of the darkness that's in the earth. But 3 billion of y'all say y'all plead the blood. Something ain't right with that, y'all. So we are here. Pharaoh's waking up from this dream. He's calling the magicians. He's calling everybody but his God. He's calling wise men. Pharaoh told them his dream, but there was none that can interpret them unto Pharaoh. Then Joseph said, interpretations is of God. Flesh and blood cannot reveal this to you. Ain't going to. Interpretations are of God. Man, he can call anybody he wants to. There's nobody there. Just like Isaac was taking, Abraham was taking Isaac up there to sacrifice him on the altar, and there was a ram in the thicket of the bush over there. Well, little do Pharaoh know, he got a ram, he got a thicket, he got something in that dungeon of a bush over there, the bush of a dungeon. He got somebody in his camp. It may not be who he calling upon, but it's who God sends. Joseph was sent down in Egypt for a reason. God could have prevented everything that happened along the way, but he's there for an assignment, for a purpose. Remember, Egypt and Ra and Yahweh, Egypt and Israel always fought against one another for the most part. He's there for a reason. God don't make no mistakes. So, it goes on to say here, 9. I was about to say where. Where is it saying what? Verse 9. Then spake the chief butler unto Pharaoh, saying, I do remember my faults this day. Oh, now you got a fault. Pharaoh about to kill everybody up in the camp because you can't interpret a dream. Now all of a sudden the butler like, oh, I remember my fault this day. 2, 3, 5, 10 years ago, I was supposed to tell you about a guy named Joseph who's in the dungeon over there. He told me to remember him when I got out. Oh, beg my pardon. Oh, my fault. My bad. Anyway, verse 10 says, Pharaoh was wroth with his servants and put me in ward in the captains of the guard's house, both me and the chief baker. 11. And we dreamed a dream in one night, and I and he, we dreamed, each man according to the interpretation of his dream. One was the branch, the vine, the grapes, 3 days. One was the 3 baskets on the head, right? So listen, he says, and we dreamed a dream in one night, and I and he, and we dreamed each man according to the interpretations of his dream. 12. And there was there with us a young man, an Hebrew. And just like here, in history unto this day, Hebrew people have saved the day and get left in prison like Joseph, forgotten about, hidden, deemed invaluable, until these suckers come up with a problem, until they need us. And then, oh, I remember, yeah, right. You know who we are, and you know what we're made of, and you know what we can do. I remember a young man in verse 12 in Hebrew, or a Hebrew. And is when it starts with the a I O U, a vowel, or like that silent H. You say an hour, hour, a Hebrew, and he. Unless you don't say the H and it's Hebrew, I don't know, but they got an here, an Hebrew. Servant to the captain of the guard, and we told him, and he interpreted to us our dreams, to each man according to his dream. He did interpret. One, you're gonna go back to Pharaoh and live well in 3 days. You're gonna get hung by the tree, not the cross, and they're gonna eat the fowl gonna eat you up after they eat the food out your basket. And that was true. He told them that. So how long ago did the butler get out of prison? We read 2 years, 2 full years, right? In verse 40, chapter 41, verse 1. So he says, 13, and it came to pass as he interpreted it to us, so it was. Me he restored unto my office, and him he hanged. 14. Then Pharaoh sent and called Joseph, and they brought him hastily out of the dungeon, and he shaved himself and changed his raiment and came in unto Pharaoh. Why can't they do this in prison? Period. Like why? Why? Why can't they? I know they do. Don't get me wrong. People do a lot. Now they're even on social media from prison. Don't ask me how, but a lot of people are in prison and on social media at the same time. But Joseph was left in this dungeon for 2 years. And I'm sure being accused of messing with Potiphar's wife, they didn't treat him with respect. I don't think so. So 14. Then Pharaoh sent and called Joseph, and they brought him hastily out of the dungeon. They shaved him, and he changed his clothes and came unto Pharaoh. 15. And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, I have dreamed a dream, and there is none that can interpret it. Interpret it. And I have heard say of thee that thou canst understand the dream to interpret it. 16. And Joseph answered Pharaoh, saying, It is not in me. God shall give Pharaoh an answer of peace. Can I tell y'all something? That's what being humble is. That's what's being humble. I'm not doing this. God is doing this. God is working through me to do this, Joseph is saying. I'm not giving you no answer. It's coming from God. That's true humility. That's being humble. All this humble yourself. And no. You stand eye to eye with any man or woman in this world. When it come to God and the things you do in the earth, you taking credit for it. Joseph is showing you God is still getting the glory and getting the credit for it. Big difference. So, God's going to give you your answer of peace. 17. And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, In my dream, behold, I stood upon the bank of a river. 18. And behold, there came up out of the river 7 cows, fat-fleshed and well-favored, and they fed in the meadow. They're eating. They're eating. Lord, please reveal this vision to me, to the people in the chat. What does it mean? 19 says, And behold, 7 other cows came up after them, poor and very ill-favored and lean-fleshed, such as I never saw in all the land of Egypt, for badness, for ugliness. These cows looked pathetic, pitiful. I always think about Jacob when he told Laban about Leah. Lord have mercy. She she wasn't fair and beautiful like Leah. That's all I meant, like Rachel. That's all I'm gonna say. But for ugliness here, badness, these cows, I never seen anything like that. I'm trying to think. We didn't get into Exodus yet. Moses comes in toward the end of Genesis, beginning of Exodus for the most part. So maybe he's telling them something that's to come or that's to happen, but we're dealing with 7 calf, 7 bad, and then the ears of corn. Don't forget the ears of corn. 20 says, And the lean and the ill-favored kind did he eat up the first 7 fat kind. 21, And when they had eaten them up, it could not be known that they had eaten them, but they were still ill-favored as at the beginning. So they ate the fat ones, but they didn't change any. He's saying they still stood mager, skinny, ill, sickly. So 22 says, And I saw in my dream, and behold, 7 ears came up in one stalk, full and good. 23, And behold, 7 ears withered, thin, and blighted, blighted, destroyed. And the winds, the east winds, sprung up after them. 24. And the thin ears devoured the 7 good ears. And I told this unto the magicians, but there was none to interpret the dream. They couldn't declare it unto me. 25. And Joseph said unto Pharaoh, The dream of Pharaoh is one. God have showed Pharaoh what he is about to do. You can find this in the book of Daniel, chapter 2 and 28, as a reference, a cross reference. And verse 29. 26 says, the 7 good kind are 7 years, 7 years, 7 years. And the 7 good ears are 7 years. So we was on to something. It is a mathematical, numerical value. I said 7 cows, 7 bad ones that equal 14, 7 and 7. I don't know if I said thinking of it as years, but he is dealing with years. Let's see. Oh, okay. The dream is one. Let's check it out. So the 7 good kind are 7 years, and the 7 good ears are 7 years. So the ears, the good ears of corn and the good cows are 7 years. That's 14 years. Because he's saying the dream is one. Even though you had the first part, woke up, went back to sleep, and then you dreamed about the corn, that's one dream he's telling them. 27. And the 7 thin and ill-favored cows that came up after them are 7 years, and the 7 empty ears blasted with the east wind shall be 7 years of famine. This could be setting it up where everybody has to go down into Egypt because of this famine. I don't know if it's this one that's going to take place, but there is a famine that comes up where Jacob and all the Israelites, everybody has to go to Egypt. And that's what they say, God is a good God, ain't he? He is so good. Because when he allows the famine to happen, it forces Jacob down into Egypt, where Joseph gets to face off with his brothers again, who need him for the food. Did they need him when they threw him in the pit? See, some of y'all be like, "Oh, there's my brother. Come on, prodigal son." I be like, and Joseph gonna do that a little bit, y'all. I be like, brothers, I know who they are. They don't know who I am. I'm about to play with them. Tell them they ain't got enough money. They can't afford it. Ain't enough corn. We're not selling to the Israelites. He was joking with them in other ways. I'm just throwing my own stuff out here. But he played with them for a little while. Make them pay for that. Throwing him in the pit. It is what it is, y'all. So, basically, here we are. Here we are. This one dream. Verse 27. We read it, but the 7 thin and ill-kind cow and the 7 corns of ears that was blasted by the east wind, that's 14 years as well. 7 years of famine. 7 years of famine. Listen. So maybe 7 is just represented one time, like 7 years of famine instead of 14. I'm not really sure, but it says 7 years of famine here. 28, and that could be referenced in 2 Kings chapter 8, verse 1. 28, this is the thing which I have spoken unto Pharaoh. What God is about to do, he showeth unto Pharaoh. 29, behold, there come 7 years of great plenty throughout all the land of Egypt. 30. And there shall arise after them 7 years of famine, and all the plenty shall be forgotten in the land of Egypt, and the famine shall consume the lands. 31. And the plenty shall not be known in the land by reason of the famine following, for it shall be very grievous. 32. And for that the dream was doubled unto Pharaoh twice. It was because the thing is established by God, and God will shortly bring it to pass. All right, so verse 23 goes, 33 says, now, therefore, let Pharaoh look out a man discreet and wise, and set him over the land of Egypt, discerning. That discreet is discerning. So he said, now therefore let Pharaoh seek out a man that can run this thing, okay? So 34 says, let Pharaoh do this, and let him appoint officers over the land, and take up the fifth part of the land of Egypt in the 7 plenteous years, like an ant. They gather, when they can. He's saying, in these 7 years of goodness, let's store up. Let's store up. Let's store up. Don't wait till the famine come and try to store nothing up. Let's store up while it's good, while we got it, right? So he's saying, 35, and let them gather all the food of those good years that come, and lay up corn under the hand of Pharaoh, and let them keep food in the cities. 36, and that food shall be for store to the land against the 7 years of famine. We store up enough in this 7, it'll carry us through the years of famine. Not only carry us through the years of famine, everybody's going to have to come to us to get this food. Sound like a plan to me. I mean, Joseph is very smart. Anyway, so it goes on to say, 36, and that food which shall be in the store of the land against the 7 years of famine, which shall be in the land of Egypt, that the land perish not through the famine. Smart, thinking ahead. 37, and the thing was good in the eyes of Pharaoh, and in the eyes of all his servants. 38, and Pharaoh said unto his servants, can we find such a one as this, a man in whom the Spirit of God is? Did he just say the one whom the Spirit of God is in? I thought Ra was the god of Egypt. What is Pharaoh doing here? Seeking out Joseph God. Or some other god other than Ra. Anyway. See, that's what I said. When people are in trouble, they know what God to call on. Even Pharaoh know what God to look for in a person. So, 39, and Pharaoh said unto Joseph, forasmuch as God hath showed thee all this, there is none so discreet and wise as thou art. Not even Pharaoh is wise and discreet. He's just king of Egypt. He didn't even know how to solve his 7-year itch. I meant his 7-year famine. It is an itch when you're hungry, though. When you don't got food for 7 years, and when you can't provide, and it's an itch for some people, okay? But he couldn't even solve his own problem. Wasn't discreet or wise enough. Didn't have enough God or the Spirit of God in himself. And I know kings don't want to do the work. They like to delegate and have other people do it. Don't get me wrong. I understand. He just want to put his feet up and chill. I get it. Can't wait to the day. I thought by this age, baby, it was going to be like that for me. God says, I got other plans for you, daughter. I'm like, okay. All right. Fight the good fight. Keep the faith. Finish your course. Do what you got to do, right? You might have to hire a Joseph. Who knows? I don't know. But anyway, so all jokes aside, Pharaoh basically is appointing Joseph. He's looking for the Spirit of God. Pharaoh said to Joseph, 39, for as much as God has showed you all this, there is none so discreet and wise as thou art. Not even my son Ramesses, if Ramesses is born yet. Not even, this ain't nobody in the land of Egypt that's walking with the Spirit of God. I need you, Joseph. He was in prison for 2 years based off the butler. Was it the butler or the baker? Talking about, oh, my faults today. I know a man down in prison in Potiphar house. He can interpret dreams of a period of at least 2 years, forgotten about. Family done thrown him away. A woman lies on him. God says your gifts and talents will make room for you, y'all. You don't gotta force it. You don't gotta go along to get along just to belong for the coin. You ain't gotta do what you normally know you won't do just to be accepted on social media or whatever. You ain't gotta become bitter and angry and take it out on the world. Take lessons from Joseph. Keep your composure. Do what I do. If I know I didn't do nothing wrong, you or nobody in hell, heaven either, gonna make me admit to doing something I know I didn't do. Keep your integrity. Whether they forget about you in prison or not, just know the man you are. Just know the woman you are. Just know you're in there and you didn't do nothing to be in there. If that's the case. Some people are in there and deserve to be there. But just know. And then this is where God begins to use your enemy to bless you. Prepare a table for you in the presence of your enemy. Have your enemies, because Israel and Egypt were enemies at this time. That's why they keep saying the Hebrew man, the Hebrew man, the Hebrew man down here in Egypt. Let your gifts and talents make room for you. You'll be having your enemy saying you're the only wise and discreet person in the land, honey. In the whole land of Egypt, he couldn't find out one person around him at that time. And maybe you're Joseph in these last days. Somebody's going to come along and acknowledge your discretion and your wisdom, okay? So 40 says, thou shalt be over my house, and according unto thy word shall all my people be ruled. Only in thy throne will I be greater than thou. I'm going to be the only one over you, Joseph, but you're going to be over everybody else, even the butler who forgot about you in prison. Now that should speak volumes to some people out there. Even the butler, they forgot about you. Now you're going to be over the butler. See, all you hear in churches, oh, Joseph went to prison. He went to the palace, baby. He did a lot more than that, okay? Line by line, precept by precept. Don't be afraid to read these stories. I'm the only one going to be greater than you, Joseph. And just like in Potiphar's house, he had rule over everything. Even Potiphar's wife couldn't do what Joseph did. That's probably why she got jealous and mad, because her husband left another man in charge and not her lying tail. I'm just trying to tell you, y'all. 41 says, and Pharaoh said unto Joseph, God, oh my God. And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, see, I have set thee over all the land of Egypt, being a Hebrew. Being a Hebrew. Now they know he's a Hebrew at this particular time. At least the people in Potiphar's house, the wife, and the butler. The butler told Pharaoh there's a Hebrew guy in prison. So they're aware that he's a Hebrew guy at this point. And Pharaoh still appoints him over everything. See, they preach Joseph in church, but they don't want to tell you he was a Hebrew man in the midst of Egypt, ruling everything except for Pharaoh's spot. 42 says, and Pharaoh took off his ring from his hand and put it upon Joseph's hand and arrayed him in vestures of fine linen and put a gold chain about his neck. And they get mad when you wear jewelry to church. Sounds like a coronation right here to me. Sounds like a pope being inducted. Sounds like a president being inaugurated. They was adorning themselves with jewelry when somebody got a position or a promotion or was able to rule. So 43, and he made him to ride in the second chariot which he had, right behind the president. I'm telling you, the motorcade. He's the second in command. Then it says, and they cried before him, bow the knee, bow the knee. And he made him ruler over all the land of Egypt. And this is how Joseph becomes the prince of Egypt. I don't know. Moses is the prince of Egypt. One of them is the dang on prince of Egypt. 44, and Pharaoh said unto Joseph, I am Pharaoh, and without thee shall no man lift up his hand or foot in all the land of Egypt. Nothing going down without you, Joseph. Nothing. Not a Potiphar, not a baker, not a butler, nothing. My children, my heir, nobody. 44. Actually 45. And Pharaoh called Joseph's name Zapna Pa'anat. Oh, God have mercy. Nath Pa'ania. Nath Pa'ania. Nath Pa'ania. And he gave him to wife Asethnath, Ethnath, the daughter of Potiphar, priest of On. He married Potiphar's wife, daughter, after the mama done accused them of messing with her. Alright, so listen. Lord have mercy. 46. And Joseph was 30 years old when he stood before Pharaoh, king of Egypt. And Joseph, remember, he was 17 when his brothers put him in the pit. Now he's 30 years old. 17 years passed. him being down in Egypt. That's a long time. So anyway, it goes on to say here, y'all. Um. Oh. He was 30 years old when he stood before Pharaoh and king of Egypt. Joseph went out from the presence of Pharaoh and went throughout all the land of Egypt. 47. And in the 7 plenteous years, the earth brought forth by handfuls. 48. And he gathered up all the food of the 7 years, which were in the land of Egypt, and laid up the food in the cities, the food of the fields, which was round about every city, laid he up in the same. 49. And Joseph gathered corn as the sand of the sea, very much until he left numbering, for it was without number. 50. And unto Joseph were born 2 sons before the years of famine came, which Asenath, the daughter of Potiphar's, priest of Un, bare unto him. So Joseph's wife's name is Asenath, Asenath, Asenath. I don't know how you say that. Asenath. She giving him 2 sons, y'all. The first one in 51 is Manasseh. For God said he hath made me forget all my toil and all my father's house. And when God gave you a baby, why did he give you your baby? And what is the meaning thereof? And I'm telling you, our ancestors was calling it out. When God gave them a baby, it was for a reason. When God gave Eve Seth, it was to replace Abel. Come on, y'all. So God said he's going to make me forget all my toil, everything I've been through in the last 17 years, and my father's house. Why? Because now Joseph has a seed of his own where he can give his child an inheritance. Remember, being cast out of his father's house, where's his inheritance? If it wasn't for running into Pharaoh and his gifts and talents making room for him, he wouldn't be walking in this kind of inheritance right now. He'd probably be somewhere dead, thanks to his father's house. So he's like, I can forget that now. I have a seed, a son of my own. I'm a man. I'm a father. I'm a provide. I'm a bless and leave an inheritance, because they say a wise man leaves an inheritance to his children's children. And I'm trying to tell you what, but Biden must not think we wise, because he ain't trying to let all of us leave an inheritance to our children's children. So we got to kick down doors and do what we got to do in order to make it work for us, right? So basically, he has Manasseh. Do you know the second son of Joseph? So 52 says, and the name of the second called Ephraim, for God hath caused me to be fruitful in the land of my affliction. And you gotta believe, he just wasn't in prison. They afflict people in prison, and I'm sure they tortured him while he was in prison. Believe you me, being a Hebrew man locked up in prison, that's like being an American going over to, I don't know, Guam, Guadalupe, I don't know, Jamaica, Russia, just someplace where prison is really, 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 really bad, and you're an outsider, and you end up in prison, Taliban. You know what I'm saying? It's not gonna be good. They're gonna treat you bad, worse off than a prisoner is expected to be treated. So Manasseh and Ephraim, they're going to go on and replace Joseph and Dan. If you don't know, remember we went through the 12 brothers. You know their names, you know where they are geographically, but Dan and Joseph are not a part of the 12 tribes today. They were originally, but Joseph, he makes a request for his two sons to be a part of the 12 tribes inheritance and blessing, and then just straight up get kicked out and went on to be the Sanhedrins and the Pharisees and the scribes. And I guess he got his blessing that way because people had to tithe into them. They were in control at some point in time. So I don't know. But he didn't get the blessing from Jacob. So Ephraim is on the scene, and it's because the Lord has blessed Joseph and caused him to be fruitful in the land of his affliction. So what? Well, why are we naming our babies what we name them here in America, in the land of our affliction? Verse 53, in the 7 years of plenteousness that was in the land of Egypt were ended. Did everybody know it was going to end, or just Egypt and Joseph and Pharaoh? Did everybody gather for the last 7 years? Excuse me. The American government, I heard Dr. Fauci said he predicted some of this stuff that's going on. hmm Oh, they out here predicting a lot of stuff right now, but there was Bill Gates, there was Obama, and there was Dr. Fauci within the last 10, 5, 7 years or so, predicted a lot of what's going on. Did did everybody know this was gonna come down the pipeline, or did just a few people know? Because back in 2013, 2010, Bill Gates predicted it. Obama, somewhere 2013, 15, he predicted it. Fauci around 2017 made another prediction. Interpretations are of God, predictions are of man. Remember that, y'all, okay? We're learning. We're definitely learning, right? So, 53, the famine, the plenteous years is up, and the famine is about to start. 54, and the 7 years of dearth began to come, according as Joseph had said. And the dearth was in all lands, not just Egypt, it was in all lands. But in all the land of Egypt, there was bread. There was food to eat, okay? 55. And when all the land of Egypt was famished, the people cried to Pharaoh for bread. And Pharaoh said unto all the Egyptians, go unto Joseph. And this has got to be like a slap in the face for the Egyptians at this point in time. We ain't never had to go to no Hebrew Israelite for anything else. Why is you sending us to Joseph? Like, who is Joseph, and why did you put him over all the land? Is what I probably would have been saying at that time if I was an Egyptian. Like, Pharaoh, you done lost your dang on mind. People come along and know how to make your money and know how to get you right in your mind. You go all out and make these people the second in command. When we've been here with you, Man, I'd been like, listen, Pharaoh. Anyway, they gotta go to Joseph. 55. And when all the land of Egypt was famished and the people cried to Pharaoh for bread, Pharaoh said, told the Egyptians, go to Joseph. What he saith to you, do. Don't worry about Nike and just do it. What Joseph say to you, do. Okay? 56. And the famine was over all the face of the earth. And Joseph opened all the storehouses and sold unto the Egyptians. And the famine waxed sore in the land of Egypt, became very, very severe. When you hear wax strong, waxed old, waxed sore, severe. 57. And all the countries came into Egypt to Joseph for to buy corn, because the famine was so sore in all the lands. And this is going to force his brothers and his father. They're going to come down about 70 deep into Egypt. Jacob, his wives, the sons, couple handmaids, men servants, cattle, all going to go down into Egypt. In chapter 42, verse 1, Jacob is back on the scene now. Alright, so now when Jacob saw that there was corn in Egypt, Jacob said unto his sons, come here. Why do you look upon one another? He like, oh hell. Jacob like, what's wrong with y'all? Because they know some 17, 20 years ago, we dropped our brother in the pit. And he might have had ended up in Egypt, possibly. We was hearing little rumors throughout the land. Who is this Hebrew guy down in Egypt? You know, they looking at one another like, oh, we got to go to Egypt? What's up with them and going to Egypt that they might be preventing or hindering or not wanting to face? 2. And he said, behold, I have heard that there is corn in Egypt. Get you down thither and buy for us from thence, that we may live and not die. 3. And Joseph's 10 brethren went down to buy corn in Egypt. And Joseph's 10 brethren. Where's the 11th one? I think Dan might be the 11th one. I think Dan might be gone at this point in time. I'm not sure. But why 11? Did he keep one back? Maybe Benjamin was still young and he held Benjamin back because that's his last son. I don't know which 10 brethren are going. Right here. 4. But Benjamin, Joseph's brother, the one by his mother Rachel, Rachel and Jacob had Joseph and Benjamin. So Benjamin, they keep him back. He like, I lost his brother. This like my baby boy here, my other baby boy gone somewhere. Like, nope, I'm keeping Benjamin back. I'm sorry. But he sent the others to go, right? The other 10. So Dan is still a part of this. So, but Benjamin, he says Joseph's brother, same mother and father. Jacob sent not with his brethren, for he said, lest peradventure mischief befall him. I'll die if something happened to Benjamin. I've been half dead since something happened to Joseph. I gave him that coat of many colors, and I haven't seen my son since then. I'm not about to let that happen to my baby boy. So he keeps Benjamin back, right? Boom. And remember, Joseph loved Rachel. He didn't love them other hoes. I'm sorry, Leah, Zilpah, and Bilhah. I wonder if they was twins, Zilpah and Bilhah. He didn't love them. He loved Rachel and got two sons by her, Joseph and Benjamin. Now, not to say he didn't love the other women or the other children. He loved when he went to Laban's house and Isaac told him to go to Rebecca's brother's house, his mother's brother's house, because Rebecca is Jacob's mother, right? Go to your Uncle Laban and get you a wife. He wanted Rachel. Yeah, it was all about Rachel from the very beginning. And Laban did him dirty. And once you do these Hebrew Israelites dirty, somehow they bounce back stronger than what the enemy is. Or at the time of their captivity or affliction, they grow stronger in people and in substance more so than their the people that have them in captivity. Only in America you don't see it go down like that. Anyway, it goes on to say in Joseph, verse 6. Oh, no. In verse 5, and the sons of Israel came to buy corn among those that came, for the famine was in the land of Canaan. 6, and Joseph was the governor over the land, and he it was that sold to all the people of the land. And Joseph's brethren came and bowed down themselves before him with their faces to the earth. Now, how is that for a little bit of brotherly revenge? And you didn't even set it out to be like that. They did something to you 20 damn near years ago. Now they're bowing their faces down to you. And they don't even know it's you. So, this is the famine was in the land of Canaan. Unless they call Egypt Canaan or Canaan is a land, but there's something with the land of Canaan, God, the Israelites, the Egyptians, and everybody else fighting over that parcel of land. 6, and Joseph was the governor, and his brothers come down to Egypt, bow themselves down to him, put their face to the earth. 7 says, and Joseph saw his brethren, and he knew them, but made himself strange unto them, and spake roughly unto them. And I'm sure he learned Egypt at this time, probably speaking another language. You probably can still speak Hebrew as well, but he's playing in their faces right now. So he made himself strange, like a stranger, like, I know y'all, but I'm not going to let you know I know you. And he spoke roughly unto them. Like, who the hell are you people? Where you come from? What do you want from me? You don't got enough money. There ain't enough corn here for you people. What, Hebrew Israelites, you go to the back of the line. I'm just, throwing my own 2 cents in here. And spake roughly unto them. And he said unto them, whence come ye? And they said, from the land of Canaan to buy food. So Canaan is not Egypt, but it's somewhere close to Israel. It's in Africa somewhere over there with Israel and Egypt, maybe somewhere in the middle. But God told Jacob, Isaac, and Abraham, I'm going to give you the land of Canaan. And other people said, no, you're not. Nope, you're not going to get it. But when he hear Canaan, I'm sure Joseph is like, yep, these are my brothers. 8, and Joseph knew his brethren, but they knew him not. And 9 says, and Joseph remembered the dreams which he dreamed of them, and said unto them, ye are spies to see the nakedness of the land ye are come. Y'all spying on me. Y'all trying to come see how naked it is down here so you can take the report back where you came from. But let's see. Verse 10 says, and they said unto him, Nay, my Lord, but to buy food are thy servants come. 11. We are all one man's son. We are true men. Thy servants are no spies. Joseph probably like, true men, my butt. Y'all the reason why I'm down here. But thanks be to God. I'm going to rejoice and delight in what y'all did, because look at me now. Y'all don't even know. I'm the younger brother, and y'all down here calling me, talking about y'all serving me, calling me Lord. Wait till they find out it's Joseph, y'all. So anyway, they're like, we belong to one man. And that should stand out right there. Like 10 of y'all belong to one man. I know exactly who you are, right? 12. And he said unto them, Nay, but to see the nakedness of the land ye are come. 13. And they said, Thy servants are 12 brethren, the sons of one man in the land of Canaan. And behold, the youngest is the day of our father, and one is not. The youngest with the father, and one is not. That one is not is the one they're standing there talking to, Joseph. 14. And Joseph said unto them, That is it that I spake unto you, saying, Ye are spies. I know you guys are spies. Remind me of Joshua and Caleb. Y'all spies. Remember they sent 12 of us over there, and 2 came back saying, ha ha. 10 came back saying there's grasshoppers. We can't overtake the Philistines. Too big, too mighty. Joshua and Caleb came back and said, we got this. Which report are you going to believe? See, like, y'all spies. Y'all spying out the land. Y'all trying to see what's going on over here. He go on and say in 15, Hereby you shall be proved by the life of Pharaoh. You shall not go forth thence, except your youngest brother come hither. Go back home and get your youngest brother. They can't go get Joseph for one. Joseph want to see his brother Benjamin. But I'm not selling you nothing until you go get your little brother. So I'm sure they're going to go back to Canaan and say, look, this governor said we got to bring him down. And that's probably going to make Jacob and everybody go down to Egypt. He's saying, I'm not serving. You're not getting nothing. No, nothing. Go get your younger brother. He didn't say your dad. He didn't say none of that. Go get the youngest brother. So, 16 says, Send one of you and let him fetch your brother, and ye shall be kept in prison, that your words may be proved, whether there be any truth in you, or else by the life of Pharaoh, surely you are spies. I'm going to keep you all in prison. You choose which brother is going to go back and get the other brother, and I'm going to keep the rest of y'all in prison until y'all prove that y'all not spies. Go get your brother. So, 17, and he put them all together into ward, into prison. 3 days, y'all. That's gotta be crazy. Like, you go down to buy food, thinking you're just gonna go buy food, and all of a sudden you end up in prison, being treated harshly by this governor. Like, none of them thought about who is this guy? Why is he treating us like this? Everybody else is buying, going, coming, leaving. Why are we catching so much slack? I just be thinking, y'all. I be thinking while y'all be drinking. I be thinking. I'd have been like, wow, well, wait. Who are you? Why are you treating us like this and nobody else? He'd have been like, you stay in prison 6 days. Don't let her out. Don't even bother letting her out. So 17, 18. And Joseph said unto them the third day, This do and live, for I fear God. 19. If you be true men, let one of your brethren be bound in the house of your prison. Go ye carry corn for the famine of your houses. Let one brother do it. Take enough corn and carry it back to your house. He said houses, so to y'all houses, but only one of y'all gonna do it. So 20, but bring your youngest brother unto me, so shall your words be verified, and ye shall not die. And they did so. Verse 21, and they said one to another, we are verily guilty concerning one brother, concerning our brother, in that we saw the anguish of his soul when he besought us, and we would not hear. Therefore is this distress come upon us. What comes around goes around. 17 years later, damn near 20 years later, y'all feeling like y'all being paid back for what you did to your one brother all those years ago? 22. And Reuben answered him, saying, Spake I not unto you, saying, Do not sin against the child? And ye would not hear. Therefore, behold, also his blood is required. Reuben and Judah said, No, don't kill him. They wanted him dead, Joseph that is. Until Reuben came to his senses, then Judah came to his senses. Now Reuben, the firstborn, oldest child of Jacob and Leah, is reminding everybody, like, I told y'all not to do this. Leave him alone. 23. And they knew not that Joseph understood them, for he spake unto them by an interpreter. I told you he was acting like he didn't know Hebrew. He really playing with him, y'all. I'm all for it. I'm like Team Joseph right now. Go Joseph, right? Anyway, 24. And he turned himself about from them and wept and returned to them again and communed with them and took from them Simeon and bound him before their eyes. Even though he's doing he's crying. He's like, these are my brothers. For one, I haven't seen them in years. I recognize them. They don't recognize me. Oh my God, they gotta come here. My family don't have food. I bet you he want to take all that food and give it to them and let them haul ass from Egypt and go home. But he's not doing it. One, the food don't belong to him like that. But two, he's trying to make them pay a little bit. But it's breaking his heart to do so. Even in trying to punish them a little bit, he's still crying behind it all. So 24 says, and he turned himself about from them, and he wept. And he returned to them again, and communed, talked with them, and took from them Simeon, and bound him before their eyes. 25. Then Joseph commanded to fill their sacks with corn, and to restore every man's money into his sack, helping his family out. Yeah, I'm down here working with Pharaoh, but it's a famine. I know there's a famine, and my family just showed up. I'm about to piece them off a little something, something. Something, 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 just a whole lot of right here. He giving them their money back. He's giving them corn. He's filling their bags. Let's see what else. And he's going to restore every man's money unto his sack, and to give them provision for their way. And thus did he unto them, for all of them. 26. And they laded their asses with the corn, and departed thence. But he got Simeon bound up, I do believe. They still got to bring the younger brother back down to Joseph. 27, and as one of them opened his sack to give his ass provender in the inn, he espied his money. For behold, it was in his sack's mouth. He like, I got my money, I got the corn, and I get to go. What is going on, right? 28, and he said unto his brethren, my money is restored. And lo, it is even in my sack. And their heart failed them. And they were afraid, saying one to another, what is this that God hath done unto us? What kind of situation? Everybody always like to blame God. What kind of situation did God put us in? Like, what is going on, right? Where's this blessing coming from? Who is this man we're dealing with, right? 29, and they came unto Jacob their father unto the land of Canaan, and told him all about that befell unto them, saying, 30, the man who is the Lord of the land spake roughly to us, and took us for spies of the country. 31, and we said unto him, we are true men. We are spies, and we are no spies. This true men thing, honest. They lied to their father about Joseph. Honey. 32. But we be 12 brethren, sons of our father. One is not, and the youngest is this day with our father in the land of Canaan. That they told the truth on that. 33. And the man, the Lord of the country, said unto us, hereby shall I know that you are true men. Leave one of your brethren with me. Go get your younger brother and come back. So he says, leave him here with me and take food for the famine of your households and be gone. Be ghosts. Get out of here. Hurry up. I'm trying to help you guys out. Don't let Pharaoh know. It don't say all that, y'all. 34 says, and bring your youngest brother unto me. Then shall I know that you are no spies, but that you are true men. So how would he know that? They could go get anybody's son and come back and say, this is my brother. But Joseph would know his brother from his mother Rachel and his father Jacob. But how he know they're gonna go? He like, go get me your younger brother, right? He like, bring your youngest brother unto me. Then shall I know you are no spies, but that you are true men. So I will deliver you, your brother, and ye shall traffic in the land. You shall trade. You should be able to go and gather. That's what you came down here for, to gain for the famine, to get, product for the famine. 35, and it came to pass as they emptied their sacks, that behold, every man's bundle of money was in his sack. And when both they and their father saw the bundles of money, they were afraid. Lord. And most people would be skeptical, like, who the hell done stole? Who put this money? I'm afraid to go back to Egypt. Oh, they gonna come kill us. What the heck happened? All of y'all got your money back. Oh no. And then you might start, oh, this is of God. Start rejoicing, like, ooh wee. But first thing is like, where did this come from? I don't know. That's what they did, right? 35 says, and when both they and their father saw the bundles of money, they were afraid. 36, and Jacob their father said unto them, me have ye bereaved of my children. Joseph is not, and Simeon is not, and ye will take Benjamin away. All these things are against me. He like, Simeon gone, Joseph gone. Now you trying to take Benjamin from me? God, not today. He said, please, these things are against me. What did I do to have two sons gone and you trying to take this one from me? 37. And Reuben spake unto his father, saying, slay my two sons, if I bring them not to thee. Reuben like, kill my two sons if I don't bring Benjamin back. That don't sound like no something a good father would say, right? Anyway, he like, deliver him into my hand, and I will bring him to thee again. 38. And he said, my son shall not go down with you, for his brother is dead, and he is left alone. If mischief befall him by the way in which you go, then shall ye bring down my gray hairs with sorrow to my grave. He like, I can't live if something happened to Benjamin, child. My gray hairs to the grave, sons. I'm not playing with y'all. I'm not giving you my son. In my old age, I'm going to take my son down there and see what's going on. I believe that's what's going to happen in chapter 43, 44, and 45. Come tomorrow. Yep. And with that being said, that's the end of this read, y'all. I am so excited. Not too tired. Not too drained out. Not too overwhelmed with this read. It's actually a good read, very educational. So this is 326, episode 326. I am so excited. Interpretations are of God, predictions more so of men. Being able to, being able to interpret dreams may bring you from the prison to the palace. And it may not. But wherever it bring you, let it do what Joseph did. Make the best of it. And who knows? It may give you an opportunity to run into some old family members and be able to help them in a time of need when years ago they didn't find it befitting or have a need for you and they got rid of you. Don't hold grudges. Don't walk around here mad. If God give you the opportunity to bless somebody who tried to take your life, would you do it? Like King David, I believe. He had several opportunities to kill King Saul. Chose not to do it. And he still went and helped Saul and blessed Saul a little bit. Joseph still have it in his heart to help his family. He could have been like, no, dude, remember what y'all did to me? Go die in Canaan. Go. But he didn't. And you don't have to either. You don't have to be like the rest of the world and conditioned to do what other people do in certain situations like this. You're watching ReligionWinked TV, and my spiritual ear stay. Shalom, everybody. Thank God for Joseph, right? Thank God for Joseph. So who we got in the chat? That's XO Robinson. Hey, wait a minute. Who's in the chat? Hi, everybody. Trying to tell you, if a famine comes, if your brothers, there's so much to learn in this Bible, y'all. I'd be excited because it really helped me go out my front door and remember these stories. And every situation I come into, I immediately like, I heard that somewhere before. How did these people deal with it? What was the lessons they learned? How did they get through it? What was their motivation? What God was they dealing with? And hold on, y'all, 1 second. Hi, everybody. All right, hold on. Trying to turn it down. All right, so I can't see it from here. Hi, I see y'all. Thumbs up this video, like this video, share, 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 share. I don't come out here bragging. Oh, I got the next great remedy. Oh, I'm gonna market this. No, I know what I got over here. It's good enough for somebody. It may not just be you. It may be your mom. It may be that relative in the nursing home. It may be that family member locked up in prison. It may be somebody on their deathbed. It may be somebody in the hospital. It may be your coworker. It may be you, but you just don't want to admit it around your other friends or whatever. It may be for me. So thank you for letting me come on here and do what I do. But share these videos. How the hell you think they got Christianity around the world? People shared it. Just because it's the majority doesn't mean it's the truth. I got a t-shirt, a hoodie, say God's authority reigns over man's majority. It's just one God and a whole lot of men. That don't mean they rule. That don't mean they reign. That don't mean they're God. Just because they make the rules and try to rule over you. That don't make them God. Um, Exo Robinson, hey, love your knowledge. Hold on, damn, I can't see with or without the thing. Good. Love your knowledge base and your ways of telling the story. Thank you. I try. I'm getting better at it. Um, yeah, I'm developing that storytelling character or internal mechanism, I guess. Thank you, EXO, for being here. I appreciate you. Everybody say hi to everybody in the chat. Show some love. Share these videos. EXO, thank you for dropping down. I do appreciate you. Oh, and let me see. Oh, you saw the baby. You saw the baby already. I got new pictures, but you saw the baby already. Um, you want to talk about Tasha K, Storm Monroe, Chelsea City, oh Chelsea, oh Cardi B. If I'm not too tired, I'll probably come back on around 10:30, 11. If I am too tired, I'll do the morning read early in the morning, take my daughter grocery shopping, and then come back tomorrow early afternoon and we can do it. But my next video I really want to do is I want to do some commentary on Tasha K and Rico and the cat. Y'all, I was sitting over here cracking up. Rico and the cat. Remember Benny and the Jets? I was like, Rico, 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 Rico and the cat. Baby. Not in a funny way, but I make up songs like that to kind of help me remember stories or what I want to talk about sometimes. And Rico and the cat is one of them, y'all. Rico and the cat. Yeah, I want to mention Rico and the cat. I would like to do some commentary on that. Hell, Rico, if you come over here, I got some other things I like to share with you as well. But Rico, that song Rico and the Cat, I'm gonna make that go viral somehow, some way. Come on over here and let me tell you about it today, okay? Cause it was just, honey, when I seen you let that cat out that damn door, I was like, Rico, 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 Rico and the Jet. I was like, Rico and the Cat. I was in here tripping. I said, Lord, I done made me a little song. Blessings to the baby and family. Love you, love you, love you. I'm gonna bring him over this weekend. Oh, and I can see him XO or take a picture. Let me think about it. I do have an email. You can email me a picture. I just want to see. I showed you my picture. That's fine. Oh, so yeah, I'm about to go, guys. Have a good evening. God bless you. Thank you for the hearts, the love. Share, share, share. Thumbs up this video. Let people know about it. Like I said, we only got about 38 or 39 of these to go, but I'm never going to put the Bible down. I'm always going to find a way to tell you a story about somebody in the story and relate it to our story, okay? I'm never going to put you down. It's just like dragging right now. I want to go ahead and like read them, upload them, and be done with them. But I'm taking it one day at a time. I'm not gonna rush this thing. Hell, it's been 3 years. What's another 30 days, right? That's how I be looking at it. But yeah, it's getting more interesting. It's relatable. I'm comfortable with it, and obviously I'm making y'all comfortable with it. Y'all relating to me, it's making sense. And that's all that really matters to me, y'all. At this point in time, that's all I really care about. I was gonna say something smart, not smart, but sarcastic. I'm sitting here like, no, no, don't you say it. I'm gonna end it. Y'all know I got little jokes over here and stuff. I'm gonna end it on a good note. Thank you so much, y'all. God bless you. Have a good day, and hopefully I can refresh myself and maybe just I'm gonna do StreamYards though, so I can drop the link, or I'm gonna have a number set up where you guys can call in. But I really want to talk about Von Ray, Tasha K, Chelsea City, Cardi B, Storm Monroe, a little bit of the Wiley show. Hey Wiley, I was absolutely gonna call into your show today, but I said no, I got a platform. Anything I want to say about Tasha K, Chelsea, whoever, we can talk about it over here. It's all spiritual. Somebody, the devil, everybody like, who's at fault? Who's at fault? The damn devil. That's who's at fault. And with that being said, you're either gonna see me early morning for the morning read, or in a couple hours for this whole maybe an hour or two of talking about YouTube stuff. And if not, guys, just hit that notification bell so you're notified when I go live, upload, and or premiere. I'm gonna get back on my uploading. There's a couple of Beyond the Bullets. I couldn't keep up. I had got up to 10 episodes, and by the time I looked around, it's like 30 more shootings. I said that's too much. I'm gonna do it. Don't get me wrong. I got the things up there, but when I was doing them Beyond the Bullets, it's like every half hour somebody was getting murdered. I'm like, I can't keep up with this. Mm-mm. I can keep up with the series and the episodes, but I'm not gonna run down every shooting, every murder. That it was just making me overwhelmed. I haven't been around that much death. I mean, it was just like it was really taking a toll on me. So I was like, I got up to 10 episodes. I have to do. I told you I was going to do the response to the activists, and then I wanted to do a special series on Officer Kiana Holly. That's all up on my screen over there for me to do. and then do like a reunion of season one. Just recap all of the 10 episodes and then move on to season two. We'll kind of wrap that up and complete that by Monday. But I was just doing video after video, just sitting and listening to the bullets flying and people dying. And I was like, you know what? I couldn't, y'all. I'm sorry, I couldn't. But I think it's a great series because Beyond the Bullet is just that. What happened beyond the bullet? And we get to learn a lot about a lot of people. Some who survive the bullet and some who don't. But like I said, when it was just every time I went to YouTube homepage, this person got shot, this pregnant woman, this person, this mother. I was just like, and I had to digress from it just a little bit, but here we are, episode 326, y'all. We gotta go to 365, and then the world, the possibility is endless. This takes a lot of time, 2 to 3 hours a day. You know what we could be doing 2 to 3 hours a day come March 2nd or 3rd of this year? Could be doing so much more, right? In the same amount of time. The videos will be a lot shorter. It won't be no more 2 3 hour videos. I can condense them down to 15 20 minutes, maybe even an hour, depending on what show I'm doing or whatever. But I know this is long. You guys don't really like to sit, the tension span. I get it. But if you really listen to what's being said, I never like to toot my own horn, but I will ring my own, and not in a conceited way. I just love the Bible. I love the stories and I love to teach people from the Bible. What's wrong with that? I'm gonna either go down two ways, EXO. I'm gonna go down as the most failing YouTuber ever, wink wink, or the most successful interpreter of the Bible. Either way, religion is going to be known for something. Oh God! And with that being said, y'all, I'm done. I'm silly now. All right, what you say here? Damn, these are more littler over here. Beyond the bullets. Yep. So I'm gonna get back into that series. I'll probably upload something tomorrow or Sunday maybe, but definitely we'll wrap up season one, get into season two. There's a lot of content out there, and I'm not trying to ride on nobody's demise or loss of life, but we need to know about these things. A lot of people stay away from it because it can be dark, but I'm telling you, going in with a pure heart and bringing awareness to people is the name of the game. You'll be all right. We'll be fine. We'll be up to 4 or 5 series, series before you know it. Series one, series two. What I'm gonna say. Yeah, we got like 10 episodes in series one. Series two, we'll try to keep each series to like 10 episodes. You never know. ID Discovery may pick it up. Um, the other one too I have, man, this freaked me out. There's a lot of freak accidents that happen in the world. If ID Discovery or We TV or whoever puts stuff out like this, I'm doing the best I can. Remember, I'm going to try to keep this channel as spiritual as I can, but all of it is either of God or not of God. And you can't be afraid to talk about either one. At least you shouldn't be afraid. And I think that's it. I'm going to end it right there. Um, I feel validated. EXO, I don't know what it is about you, but you make me feel human on YouTube. Is that, can I say that? Am I allowed to say that? You make me feel human. I know I'm human, but you make me feel human in the world of social media. Thank you. That means a lot to me, y'all. It really does. So I'm going to go ahead and end it. Hold on. What else did you say? Hold on, y'all. Oh, and keep putting, up your books. I need to get them. I sure will. Oh, you're winning. Oh, I get gems here in the word. Oh, thank you. It's so strong. And the story behind it, we don't get, but you give it. You're so real and amazing. Oh my God, thank you. Thank you so much. You'll see. You'll see. Things have gotten a lot better. It was a long road with the baby and everything. I tell you what, EXO, real brief. My daughter went to Las Vegas April 29th on her birthday. She came back May 4th or 5th. Had an appointment like the day after she came back. Found out she was pregnant. Mind you, she had already had a blood clot from, she had surgery in her foot. It didn't heal properly. She got a blood clot. When she found out she was pregnant right before Mother's Day, on Mother's Day, May 9th, the blood clot broke off from her leg and went in her lungs. So this whole pregnancy, she had to take 2 injections in her belly at first, her arm, whichever didn't bruise, to keep her blood thin or whatever. And then it was just, it was a long, long pregnancy. When I tell you it was some scary moments. The baby was breached like the last 2, 3 weeks before delivery. It was just like nerve wracking. So we got through that by the grace of God, and the baby's growing, doing well, gained like a pound and a half. Born on the 21st, so he is filling out, doing well, and my daughter is getting back, to her normal self or whatever. But she's been a little tired, been resting a lot, so we still keeping an eye on her. So I appreciate all the prayers, all the love, all the support. And as a proud grandmother, you make me feel normal to talk about children in a good way. There was a time we used to get the pictures out and be like, "Ooh, look at my grandbaby." Ooh, that I'm a mother. I'm a grandmother. That is dear to my heart. I like to do stuff like that. So don't y'all worry. We are on to something over here. Exo says, Miss Drew, if I told you my story, DVT and all, I love you. It's a reason I'm here. Keep guiding me. Real talk. Bless you and your family. I know the struggle. Stay strong. We gonna end it on that note. You got it, sis. I love you and God bless you, and I will keep you in prayer. And you do the same with me, all right? These are tears. Y'all know I be. These are tears of joy over here. I'm about to go because thank you for believing in me.